My 5090 is giving me issues and it's not NVIDIA's fault. I have all of my ROPs and I still don't know what that means, but I do have all of them. My connector's not melting, my GPU's not on fire, but I am having heat issues. And the worst part is, it's self-inflicted.
I said forget about it, cuz.
My legend of a wife got me the Founders Edition 5090 from Best Buy on the launch day. I still wasn't convinced that it actually happened. I was waiting for that cancellation email or that out of stock email, but it came 2 days later and I slapped that bad boy right into my PC. In my gaming PC, I had a 4080, a i7 14700K, 64 gigs of RAM, an MSI Mag Z790 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard, 3 terabytes of total storage, Be Quiet fans and a D-Cool AIO, and a Be Quiet 1000 watt power supply. And all of this was in a Height Y60 case. I love the Height Y60 case. Mounting your GPU vertically is just cool to me, so I swapped my 4080 for the 5090, not thinking anything of it. I was playing Star Citizen at 4K and the performance was amazing. I was happy as can be. Little did I know, I was doing something really wrong. Because I was one of the first people to get a 5090 and use it on my live stream, I had so many questions about its performance and its capabilities. To answer those questions, I downloaded MSI Afterburner, which allows me to put that kind of data information on my live stream so everyone can see it. Anything from FPS to voltage used to my voltage of my CPU, usage of the percentages of my GPU and CPU, the list can go on and on. While going through that long list of data points, I saw that I can display my CPU temperature. I thought it was a pretty cool piece of data, so I added it. But when I added it, my chat erupted. They were cooking me just like the temperature of my CPU. They were saying, oh my God, your CPU temperature is so high. Why is it so high? Blah, blah, blah. I found out that my 5090 was blowing that much hot air on my motherboard and CPU and my RAM and cooking the inside of my computer. So while playing Star Citizen at 4K, my CPU temps reached up to 95 degrees Celsius. And for those that don't know Celsius, that's 203 degrees Fahrenheit. And I don't know if I should believe it or not, but there were certain people in chat that said they even saw the CPU temperatures climbing above 100 degrees Celsius. That's hot. This really opened my eyes to see how much power the 5090 really uses. That power equals heat. The more power, the more heat. And with my 4080 that we used to be in this build, I had 0 temp issues. And I know that because I used to do benchmarking videos with this same exact build and all that data was being collected. So this 5090 is now cooking the inside of my computer and I need to solve it. So this is a problem, but I made it out to be even a bigger problem when explaining it to my wife, because my solution is building a brand new computer. And because of the way I explained it, she gave me the green light. Before even going to my wife, I knew exactly what parts and what cases and what components I was going to use. I didn't let her know that, but thankfully she didn't ask. I've been dying to build in the new Phanteks Evolv X2 case. It is beautiful and I knew it was the case for me. I am also going to go with the Phanteks AIO fans as well as their 1000 watt power supply. For the rest of the components, I went with an Intel Core Ultra 9 285K, a Gigabyte Z890 Aurorus Elite Ice, 64 gigs of Kingston Fury Beast DDR5, 6400 MHz C32 RAM, and a Lexar 2TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD. With all the parts in hand, it was almost time to build. But why would I build it myself when I know one of the best PC builders in the entire world, Saul, the head builder at Power GPU?
What sound do bats make? Nah! Nah!
All I had to do was ask Jesse, the owner of Power GPU's, permission to steal Saul and their YouTube studio, and we got to building. After installing the CPU, the next thing we did was install our 2TB NVMe drive. With the lever system on this motherboard, it only took a few seconds to install. Next, we installed a 64 gig kit, 32 and 32, into the motherboard on slots 2 and 4. The Phanteks case came with a surprisingly really organized box that kind of categorized everything for you so you know what screws and when to use them. Next, we installed the motherboard into the case with the 1 stud and the 8 screws. Installation was pretty simple. The next thing we were looking at is the fan layout. We're going with a set of 3 Phanteks fans on the bottom. These are reverse fans pulling air in from the bottom of the case, pushing it upwards. That is also gonna now pass through my GPU, which again was blowing my motherboard. Now it's just continuing that air in that's coming from the bottom throughout the top, where we're gonna have 4 fans, 3 on the top of the case and 1 in the back of the case. These fans also have covers for the screw holes so you don't see them, for a very clean look. The 3 reverse fans for the bottom of the case came pre-assembled, which made it super easy for assembly. The tray that these fans get assembled on can be easily removed from the computer with 1 screw. After assembly and some wire management, they can be placed directly back into the computer and it'd be seamless. And when I tell you these things were flush to the inside of the computer, they were, and I love the look of it. Now that we're on the top of the case, we have 4 fans to mount. 1 being on the back of the case is going to be pulling air out the back, as well as the 3 fans that are going to be mounted to the radiator that are going to pull air through to keep our CPU cool. For the radiator, we actually sandwich between the bracket that comes with the top of the case, the fans, and then the radiator on top. This allows the fans to be flush again with the interior of the case, which again gives that beautiful look. For the CPU cooler, while tightening it down to the actual surface of the CPU, we made sure to go caddy corner while tightening to make sure we had a very even distribution of thermal paste. With that complete, it's GPU time. It's time to unbox the Founders Edition 5090 for like the 4th time, because I've installed it in a couple computers by now. But the big reveal. After lining it up with the PCIe slot and pushing it in and installing 2 screws to hold it in place, we slid in a really cool little attachment that makes the inside of the case flush and cover those screws. Also pre-installed in the case is a GPU sag bracket. This is very easily adjusted to whatever height of the GPU you have to help the sag. These are little features that just stand out to me that make this case just superior to others. Next, we pre-installed all of the power cables for the CPU and the GPU and actually passed them backwards to the back of the case. This is where we fast forward for the cable management. Saul does a phenomenal job in all the PCC builds for Power GPU, and this one is nothing different. He went from a rat's nest of wires to 2 very singular combs of cables. I don't know how he does it, but he's truly amazing. With the wire management done, we installed the back hinge door that holds all of that wire management in place. We also installed all of the glass panels, peeling the plastic. It was really satisfying.
What?
With everything installed, it was time for the big reveal and see if it turned on. Saul clicked the power button and this thing looked beautiful. After giving the PC the oohs and ahs it deserved, we brought it over to their checklist area where they do all of the software and updates for their components, so it's a plug-and-play system when I bring it home. They also do a stress test on the computer to make sure I can throw anything I need to at it and it would be performing at its top. They also stress tested my build to make sure anything I throw at it, it would perform. After getting the PC home, it was time to install it. I took the old PC off the shelf by myself, but I needed some help putting the new one on. Allie handed it to me and it looked great on the shelf, until I realized the power button was on the top. No! We'll figure out a solution for that later. After getting my audio and display stuff situated, it was time to put the PC to the test. And what better way than to play Star Citizen? And this time around, it was clear that the CPU temps were so much better. And also with the upgrades all around the PC, I saw performance upgrades as well. The only issue now is when I look at the PCs, they're not symmetrical. So I think I'm gonna have to take care of the streaming PC now too. I just want to be transparent with you guys. We are extremely grateful that Phanteks decided to send all of the parts for this build out to us. We had 0 obligations to post about this or to post on our socials in any way. We just thought this was so beautiful and a great video, so we decided to share it with you guys. Shout out to Power GPU as well for allowing me to use their head builder and their studio for this video. It can't hurt to tell you to use code Danny at checkout if you're gonna buy anything from Power GPU. They have 5080s and 9070 XTs in ready to ship, so if you want any of those, make sure you check out their website. And while I'm shouting out people, I should probably shout out my wife because she allows me to do all these crazy things and create this content for you guys, so big shout out to her. If you're still here, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come watch this video. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. We're on that journey to 19,000, and make sure you turn that bell notification on so you get notified the next time I post a video. See you next time.